Here's what happens in a normal company. You hire really smart people, really good data analysts, and they may give you 100 ideas that can improve your business. And then you get like a director or VP who's like, well, I can't have a strategy of 100 ideas. I need 3 or 5. And so they narrow down that list and they throw out 95 good ideas that are never surfaced, never acted on, and just say, we're going to put all of our resources here because it's easy to understand, it's convenient. And so where we see a difference is just how quickly companies can take an idea, ideally it's backed by data, and move it into execution. And so I generally talk about the 4 questions that good companies ask. They first say, instead of judging this, and this is kind of interesting, is that oftentimes people will see presentations and they want to reach that conclusion. Do I believe this person? Do I act? Better companies start, and what they want from everybody is their ideas, or since I'm a data person, hypotheses. What do you think we should do? What do you think we should do? There's no judging there, whether it's right or wrong, but I want everybody's ideas. And when people do this during brainstorming sessions, they make it part of their corporate culture. They make it an expectation for the partners and vendors they work with. I don't want to see 60 slides. I want to see your hypotheses. What are you testing? What are you thinking about? Now then they have to prioritize, so they go to their second question. What data do we have on this? Is this your opinion? Now, if it was your opinion, I'd trust you. You know a lot about your field. Other people, if they just started working versus someone that's been in the field for 20 years, you may look at it differently, but we want to objectively ask, how much data do we have to support it? Third question, can we capture more data if we need? Fourth question is, what would we do differently as a business if this turned out to be true? Now, the hypotheses you all capture. Now, here's where it becomes interesting, is that these questions have to be simple, because if they're not, everybody will ignore them, right? You can't do, okay, meeting time, let's make a decision, and then somebody pulls up, all right, let's look at our decision criteria. No, simple. The question, what data do we have? How do we get more data? How do we act? Now, there's a little bit of sophistication behind this. The hypothesis one we've already talked about. You want to capture all opportunities, not conclusions. Second part of it, what data do we have? A lot of companies don't know how much data is required. Like, we think about it, we talk to a lot of people, well, how much data do you need? Most common answer, I'll know it when I see it. Well, that's subjective. I like Neil, I hate Neil, so I'm going to listen to him or ignore him. But when companies actually start putting it down, they realize that they actually need a lot less data than they think. Or they realize they're being unrealistic. Yes, we can get this level of data, but we're not going to make a decision for 5 years. But this forces them to say, how much data as a company do we need to make a decision, and kind of surfaces and removes some of those biases. Well, Charles is suggesting it, we'll do it right away. Neil, who knows? Third question is, can we get more data? Is there a path forward? If we don't have enough data from that second question, should we continue to study this problem? Is it easy? Is it hard? Do we need to go into a new market or change our website? And then the fourth question about how we act is simply removing organizational tension. Now, whenever you want to change something big in a company, there's always somebody that wins and somebody that loses. That's as stark as it can be. If you're moving and you're saying, we want to do more digital advertising, well, that budget is likely coming out of TV. And if it's not coming out of TV, maybe it's coming from a different department or a different team. And I'll tell you, there's enough wiggle room in data for somebody to always argue against your numbers. And so what we do is we answer that question out front. We say, here's a hypothesis that we have. Here's a test we're going to run. Somebody tell us what we're going to do. And if we can't get agreement around the room about what we're going to do differently based on what may happen, we don't go down that path. And we focus on those where there is agreement. And I say that because about 60 to 70% of companies that make it through the first 3 questions, that find an opportunity, never act on it.